Cammy, guess what? You know what we call people like you who have to rely on other people for their own survival? Parasites. It is so pathetic how you basically have to count on my mom and dad's generosity for you to keep living your life the way you do. I mean, come on. Aren't you, way too old for that? You should be able to support yourself in your own house, not living with your little sister. It's so embarrassing. I would honestly hate to be you. You must have given up all of your pride.
Excuse me, did you just call me a parasite?
Yeah, did I stutter? Isn't it obvious? I told my friend from school about you and she called you that. I thought it seemed fitting. I mean, a grown woman who still lives at home and refuses to move out? Sounds just like a parasite to me.
Well, I hope this isn't insulting to your friend, but I am definitely not a parasite. So make sure to tell her that she's dead wrong the next time you see her. And maybe tell her not to be so rude about people she doesn't even know.
What do you mean? But she's not wrong though, is she? I mean, any way you look at it, you really are like a parasite. You're just basically mooching off of your sister and her entire family. Am I lying?
What the hell?
Well, if you don't want people to call it out for what it is, maybe you should move out. You can't stay forever. Plus, the house feels so much more cramped if you're there. Come on, get a life.
I don't really know what to say to that. You do realize that this is my childhood home too, right? I have every right to be there, and I definitely have more of a right than you do. So there shouldn't be any problems with me living in my own house.
Are you actually being serious right now? I mean, I guess, yeah, it's technically your childhood house, but come on. I think by now you should start considering it your sister's house, not yours. That house was falling apart and my mom and dad were the ones to rebuild the house. You can barely even recognize it now as the same one you grew up in. So basically the house belongs to them now. The deed is even in their name. You have no rights to it anyway. Not that you ever did.
What?
So it's so funny to me that you think you have any kind of claim to that house or deserve to keep staying there. Are you really that dunce? Even my parents keep saying they wish you'd hurry up and move out. But of course they're too nice to ever say it to your face directly. But I'm not. None of us want you here. So do us all a favor and figure something out.
Wait a minute. They really said that. Rebecca really said that she wishes I would move out.
Yep. They keep mentioning how you're so much of a burden and it's so much work to have you around. We all consider you to be a parasite to our family.
Oh, I didn't realize they felt that way.
Wait, did you really think that just because she was your sister that she would want to take care of you your entire life? Yeah, no, that could not be farther from the truth. In fact, I think you being her sister makes her even more annoyed. She doesn't think you should be her responsibility. She doesn't want you intruding on her life forever.
Wow, I can't believe Rebecca said all those things.
Well, now you know so you can figure out a way to leave soon. We have no room for an annoying parasite in our house.
I don't think I can take much more of this. It's really starting to go too far. Rebecca, do you think you could get all my stuff ready to go? Huh? Wait, what's going on? Is something wrong, Cammy? You seem upset. Did something happen? Yeah, something happened. Alexis told me she wants me to move out again. I think this is about the 100th time now that she demanded I leave. Seriously? I don't want to deal with her anymore. Cammy, I am so sorry Alexis keeps saying that to you. But please don't get so mad at her. It's really not that big a deal. I mean, she's only in college. She's practically still a kid. What do you expect from her? You know what it's like when you're going through puberty, the teenage hormones and all that. I really don't care, and I don't want to keep hearing your excuses anymore. She literally called me a parasite today. I'm not going to keep letting her get away with saying these kinds of things. What? She said that? There is no way Alexis would do that. Well, she did. She said that someone who relies on her family to take care of her like I do should be considered a parasite. And that she doesn't want to keep living with a parasite. And she asked me to leave once and for all. That's Alexis for you. I don't know where she comes up with these things. I can't believe she would say these things to her own aunt. Oh, that is so rich coming from you. I know what you've been saying behind my back. You're just as bad as she is. You've been saying the same thing too. What are you going on about? Alexis made sure to tell me everything. That she's not the only one who doesn't want me there. You also want me to move out too. That's such a terrible thing to say about your own sister. I can't believe you would do that. No, that's not true. I don't really feel that way, I promise. The only reason I said that was because Alexis kept going on and on about it. I just wanted to validate her feelings like a good mother. Oh, so that lie you told her about how you and your husband rebuilt this house all on your own, that was also to try to validate her feelings? Yeah, I know all about that too. What now? Yeah, Alexis seems to be under the impression that you and your husband did everything when it came to rebuilding the house. But we both know that's not true, is it? But according to Alexis, since this house belongs to you and your family in its entirety, I should move out. That the house is under your name. Isn't that such an interesting story? A little complicated for her to have made up all on her own unless someone told her these things, don't you think? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember ever giving you the deed to the house. Unless I'm mistaken, of course. I think there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding. Need I remind you, when our parents passed away, you said I could have the house if you could have the money they left for us. That's the deal we agreed to. So when I agreed, since it was falling apart, I spent my own money to get it rebuilt. And from what I remember, as soon as I finished the construction, my little sister and her family asked if they could stay here too. That is what happened, right? Or have I completely lost my mind? No, of course not. Like I said, it's all just a big misunderstanding. I promise. You are completely right. I just happened to be really busy at work at the time and wasn't around the house much, so I didn't mind when you asked to move in with me. And I was more than willing to let you take over managing some of the household things too. But I never said that you could take credit for rebuilding this house. That is going way too far. And I certainly never gave anybody permission to take the deed from me either. Cammy, I am so sorry. I never meant for it to get back to you or anything. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. And then to keep up with the lie, I just kept adding more things and it just snowballed and got completely out of hand. If you have the room to apologize, how about actually doing something to make this entire situation right? If you don't, I think I'll have to reconsider our living arrangements. I don't think it'd be a good fit to keep living with someone who doesn't respect me and who would so easily throw me under the bus like that. You can't do that. Do you know what that would do to my family? Well then, I guess we are in agreement. Fix this, Rebecca. First things first, Alexis' attitude towards me. It's completely disrespectful. I'm serious, Rebecca. This is the last time I'm going to warn you about this, or I'll make good on my promise. You can count on that.
Hey, Aunt Cammy. Just wanted to let you know that I threw out all of your stuff for you. You're welcome. Now you won't have as much stuff you'd have to pack when you move, so there shouldn't be any issue with you leaving now. Again, you are welcome.
What? You threw my stuff away. What the hell?
What? You really only have yourself to blame, huh? You haven't made incentive to move out of the house. No matter how many times I tell you that I don't want you here anymore, it's like it just flies right over your head. So this was the only way I could really help you move things along and let you know how serious I was. And I figured if I get rid of your stuff and you didn't have to figure out all the logistics of moving out, you could just leave. Easy peasy.
Wait a second. Alexis, don't think that touching other people's stuff like that and just throwing things away without their permission is going a little too far, even for you. Just because we're family doesn't mean I'm gonna just automatically forgive you for that sort of thing.
Oh, please, Aunt Cammy. We both know you're not family. You're just a parasite. It's your own fault that I had to resort to this.
What are you talking about?
If I let you keep going on like this, you are just going to be more and more reliant on my family. So you see, this was the only thing I could do. Both for our sake and for yours.
You know what, Alexis? You keep going on and on about how I'm some parasite mooching off of your parents, but at the end of the day, we're just sharing a house. I have my own job that I support myself with, and I contribute just as much money to the household. So what part of any of this makes me a parasite?
Just the fact that you're so brazenly able to live in your sister's house without feeling any sort of embarrassment is enough to consider you a parasite. And let's be honest about your whole working situation. You never know what's going to happen in the future, and if you're even going to keep contributing like you say you supposedly are. I mean, soon I'll have to be worried that you'll start trying to mooch off of me and steal my money.
Do you honestly think I would ever even consider trying to take anything from you? I don't want or need your money.
Okay, sure. I just finished job hunting and I was offered a job at a top company. As soon as I graduate, I'll be working full-time.
Congratulations, Alexis.
And they offered me a pretty good salary too. They're giving me a starting salary of $50,000 a year. And the company themselves seem like they give new employees just as many opportunities as everyone else, so I'm sure I'll be getting plenty of promotions. I've heard that there was even a new employee last year who landed a bunch of new clients and got like a $20,000 bonus. I'll probably get the same thing in no time.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're able to actually pull that off, that'll be a big accomplishment.
Of course I will. Unlike you, I have no doubt that I'll actually be successful in life with a large enough salary to live on my own and support myself. But to do that, that means I have to be careful that people like you don't try to mooch off of me. That's why I'm trying to get rid of you before anything like that can happen and jeopardize my life.
So that's why you decided to throw out my stuff without my permission. You really think someone that unhinged and blinded by stupidity is gonna succeed in any kind of workplace? Are you thinking straight?
Of course I'm gonna be successful. I've been at the top of my class all throughout high school and college and won tons of awards. I think my accomplishments speak for themselves, thank you very much. And someone as motivated and ambitious as I am will be highly valued in any workplace.
Well, you do have drive, I'll give you that.
Right? But I didn't want to leave anything to chance, so just in case I had a friend of mine from Harvard to take the test the recruiters made us take for me. It was definitely the right call. There was no way I was going to fail the interview, I had that in the bag, so I just made sure there was no way they could deny how great of a fit I would be for the position.
You did what? Alexis, are you saying that you basically cheated your way into getting that job? Do you know how wrong that is? Did you even think about what might happen if you get caught?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's cheating. I just used my brain to come up with the best way to use my resources to my advantage. I want to be evaluated by my ability to actually do the work, not my memorization skills on some stupid test.
Those are just stupid excuses. Whatever your reason, cheating is still cheating.
What the hell? Why are you acting like I committed some huge crime or whatever? It was honestly no big deal. But if you want to talk about crimes, how about you literally stealing from our family by acting like a parasite? Now that seems like an actual crime to me. So don't go acting all high and mighty when you're so much worse. At least I helped us out by throwing out your stuff. And once you finally do the right thing and leave, I hope I never have to see your face ever again.
Well then, I hope you're prepared to say goodbye to that job offer.
What?
Well, Alexis, as far as I'm concerned, it's the only way to make sure we never see each other again, just like you wanted. You seem to have no sense of remorse for having cheated your way into your job. So for that lack of integrity, I think we can say you're not a good fit for the company and withdraw the job offer. Anyway, good luck with your job search.
Wait, and Kimmy? What the hell are you talking about? A parasite like you has no authority to take away my job offer like that. Where do you get off on trying to mess with me? Look, I get that you're a little upset that I threw out your stuff, but cry me a river and get over it.
Hate to break it to you, but I do in fact have the authority to make that decision. After all, I am the president of the company that you were just hired at. Or didn't you know?
You're what?
I didn't want there to be any conflict of interest in the hiring process, so we recruit the new hires based purely on their merit and achievements, but we never thought any of them would have cheated their way to get there. Regardless of your past achievements, I don't think anyone who lacks the common sense to see that what they did was wrong on all levels is a good fit for this company. We'll be sending you a formal retraction letter of the offer soon.
Wait! Aunt Kimmy, you can't do this! You're the president of the company? How is that even possible? I worked hard to get that job offer and you were the president of Green Design this whole time? You own the whole entire company?
Any other person would do a little research before they apply to a company and know who the president is. But I suppose that might be too much to ask of you. Besides, I work under a different name anyway.
Huh?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a funny story. Right around the time I started the company, this fortune teller told me that using a fake name instead of my real name would bring better luck to the business. I don't know why I thought to listen to her, but I did. I figured if I ever got married in the future and had to change my name, it'd be too much of a hassle to change everything at my company too. So I just ended up choosing a name that had nothing to do with me to run my business under.
Seriously?
And with a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work, the company grew to what it is today. So successful to the point that my own disrespectful niece wanted to apply for a job there. Wow, I am so glad I listened to that fortune teller.
No, I don't believe you. There is no way any of what you just told me is true. I mean, my mom never mentioned anything about you owning your own company, much less Green Design. She never mentioned it was her company or that we owned a company.
Of course she didn't. I never told her, so your mom doesn't know anything about it.
What?
Yeah, I never told Rebecca anything about what I do for work. I mean, I suppose she knows that I started my own small business a long time ago, but she doesn't know anything about how much it grew or what we do now. I don't think she even knows the name of the company or even that it's a design company.
Why didn't you ever tell her any of this? She's your sister. She should get to know these kinds of things.
My reason is the same as what you've been saying this whole time. I don't want to have to be responsible for taking care of parasites anymore.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that I'm the president of a successful company and make really good money. If she ever found that out, don't you think that not only will she try to take my house from me, but she would also start demanding money? So I decided I wouldn't even bring up my job to protect myself so I wouldn't have to worry about that.
You're kidding, right? What do you mean she's trying to take the house from you? It's our house.
I think that's something that you should ask your mother about. I think it's time you two had a talk to clear something up. And I also ask that you be moved out of my house within 2 weeks or I will have to take legal action. I hope I can trust you to let your parents know about the timeline as well. Me, how could you do this to your own sister? Why would you tell Alexis everything and expose me like that? Now she doesn't believe anything I say and thinks I just lied to her. But you did. That's not the point. She doesn't think I'm cool anymore. How could you? To be fair, I didn't tell her everything. I just told her to ask about the whole situation of who owns the house. That's basically telling her everything. No matter how you look at it, the second she started questioning everything and demanding answers, I had to come clean and admit I lied. So if you think about it, you did indirectly end up telling her everything. Isn't it funny the way things all worked out? I was the one who was suffering from your lies, while you just got to sit back and benefit from all of it. This isn't funny at all. It's not fair. She pretty much hates me now. She refuses to talk to me. She's accusing me of deceiving her all this time, and that it's my fault that she lost her job offer, and demanding that I do something about it. She even left the house and decided to stay at a friend's. She refuses to come home. Oh, I'm sure she's fine. She's a college student. She's technically an adult, so she can do that if she wants to. She'll probably come back at some point. Okay, but more importantly, why didn't you even tell us that you were the president of your company? We're your family. We should know these kinds of things. You should have told me from the beginning. Then maybe none of this would be happening to me. Didn't Alexis tell you the reason I decided not to tell you any of it? I didn't want to keep being taken advantage of by you any longer, so the smartest thing for me to do was to not tell you about my company. If you found out that your big sister started her own successful company, you'd probably try to worm your way in and milk it for all it's worth. Long story short, I didn't trust you. What? Do you hear how ridiculous you sound? That would never happen. Just because you're as successful as you are doesn't mean I would keep relying on you for everything. I mean, I might ask for a little bit of an allowance to help me out, but it's not like you would miss any of it anyway. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm sure Alexis told you this as well, but I expect you to move out of my house. I'm giving you 2 weeks, and don't ask me for more time. I won't give it to you. What? Cammy, you can't do this. Please, anything but that. I don't have anywhere else to go. We just found out that my husband's work is downsizing, and we can't afford if you kick us out. Really? Yes. He's being let go at the end of the month, and we have no idea what we're going to do. So please, Cammy, don't kick us out. I did what you asked, and Alexis knows the truth about everything now, so there should be no hard feelings, right? And I'm sure Alexis won't be disrespectful to you anymore. So can we please just go back to the way it was before? Us all living together as one big happy family. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that. You think after everything we can just go back to normal as if nothing ever happened? You must be delusional. You and Alexis really pushed me over the edge. So I don't really care what you say anymore. I still expect you to be out of my house in 2 weeks. Cammy, please. If I were you, I'd get started on packing. Or it'll be my turn to throw out your stuff.
Aunt Cammy! Please, don't take away my job offer!
Didn't you already receive the notice that we were retracting the offer? I have no intention of changing my mind.
Don't be so mean! Have you no heart? I'm your niece.
Regardless of whether or not this is considered mean, you still cheated your way to get this job. Still rewarding you with the position would be unethical on all fronts and blatant show of nepotism, which is what I was trying to avoid in the first place anyway. So, I just followed through the way I would with any other candidate who cheated.
But everyone does it! I'm sure I'm not the only one. I would actually work hard once I started the company. And I promise I won't ever make fun of you ever again. So please, you have to do something to get me my job back.
The thing is, I don't believe a word you say. Nothing about your track record makes me think there is an ounce of sincerity to your words. You've lied and cheated to get a job, you blatantly disrespected your family member, and you threw away someone else's possessions without permission. After all that, I can't believe you would have the audacity to ask me to do you a favor.
Look, I'll admit to everything and apologize, okay? So just please don't take my job offer away. You heard about our family situation from my mom, right? My dad is gonna lose his job soon.
Yeah, I already heard all of this, but it doesn't make any difference to me. Besides, that has nothing to do with my retracting your job offer. You made the decision, now you have to deal with the consequences.
Please don't say that, Aunt Cammy. My mom told me, with us being kicked out of the house and my dad losing his job, that it's up to me to help support the family. So there is no way I can have my job offer retracted. I really need a job.
Well, then if that's the case, don't you think that instead of whining about losing the job offer you had, which was entirely your fault, by the way, that your time would be better spent looking for a job at another company?
Don't be so cold, Aunt Cammy. I want to work at Green Design. It's my dream company. Yeah, I may not have been entirely truthful on the test you gave, but I'm honestly still the best fit for the company. Please let me work here. I'll do anything.
No, thank you. And if you keep continuing to harass me about this job, I'll have to notify your university about your behavior.
What?
Well, they might like to know that they have students who think it's right to cheat to get ahead. And honestly, I should report you to the university. But since I'm such a nice person, as a goodbye present from your aunt, I suppose I won't report what you did. But if you want to keep going on about how you think you still deserve the job, I won't hesitate to contact them about your behavior.
Wait, no! You can't tell a university.
I do wonder what would happen if they found out. Maybe your degree might become null, and perhaps you might even get kicked out of the school.
If that happens, then all my work over the last 4 years just goes down the drain. I'm really sorry about everything, okay? We'll all move out of your house right away and not bother you anymore.
After they finally moved out, Alexis was able to get a job at some local small business just in time for her graduation, and was able to graduate without any kind of trouble. Her company even provided company housing, so she didn't need to worry about her living situation. In fact, she told her parents that she didn't want them to take advantage and mooch off of her, so she cut ties with them and moved out of the house. Rebecca and her husband never thought Alexis would cut them off and were in complete shock. And I guess things weren't as easy post-graduation as Alexis thought it would be at her new job. But last I heard, without a daughter they had to keep providing for, Rebecca and her husband moved into a small apartment and were doing everything they could to cut costs and support themselves.